Hey everybody. I went out to get a flower. It's really amazing. I love these flowers. Look at this. They have these kind of stems here that take a long time to blossom. And then they have fields of flowers like this. And every time you go into these trails, you change altitude, you change orientation, north-south. You even change mountains. There's different flowers. One of the artisans that was there this morning found flowers on a particular mountain. And because of the soil, he said that because of the soil, the orientation, the climate, that particular flower only grows there. It does not grow here. It grows in the Pyrénées as well. So it grows in a few mountains with the exact same soil, the exact same climate. And how the seeds or how the flowers in between all these kilometers where there's no such flower, right? And then you've got two mountains far apart, how the same flower was able to get from one to the other. It's incredible to think about it, the time it took. The idea of today's discussion is about information. We are information, we have our genes, and those genes, together with the experiences that we live and the environment, make who we are. If the information in our genes vanishes, or if we don't do anything with our lives, if we stay in a box, we can live very, very long. We can be centenarians, but all our information will remain as genes, and our experience of life will just be this box that we're in. Of course, there's a continuum to this, right? So people have very wild and diverse lives, and some people do the same thing every day, and some do kind of a combination. But at the end, that information is what we are. And the same goes for nature. The reason I took this flower kind of to come together with us, this flower is going to be our friend for this post, is that you look at everything around us, those trees, the grass, the little ants here on the ground that are going on the camera too. You might see one. They've taken so much time. Nature has taken so much time to build this, to orchestrate this, and to find this perfection of having rivers feed all the lands, because the climate is exactly the right temperature for snow to fall on the mountains, the water to get stored at the top of the mountain, and then in the summer to melt and to distribute this water when it's hot, when it's not raining. It's an incredible ecosystem that we still don't understand completely, and maybe we shouldn't understand completely. But of course, we humans come with a much faster pace. And we've digitized a lot of that information into computers, and that digitization is going really, really fast. Eventually, that digitization will save us. We have strong reasons to believe that the sun will, over many millions of years, expand, reach the earth, and that life as we know it today, whether it's human or animals, is going to have to go elsewhere than the earth. And there's no other way to go elsewhere than to have technology and to have a digital world. And that's what we are embarked into. So eventually technology is going to save us. But in the meantime, we have experimentations. We have what we call big data. And that is very difficult for us to comprehend that big data is not always enough. That more data is not necessarily the answer. That the answer is found when you look at nature. And nature is not big data. Nature is long data. So you get two concepts. You get long data, right here with this flower, and big data with this camera, which is extremely powerful, but at the same time hasn't gone through millions of years. The source of information, the value of the data we get has to be put in context. If you take the information you get today and you look at it 50 years later, does it still stand? Or you look at the information you have today and you look at 50 years back or 100 years back, does it stand in that world? The answer is often no. If you look at medicine, experimentation with the food chain, there's a lot that we humans do with changing genetics of crops, and we don't know the consequences. There are changes we do to our diets, and there are competing diets. There's diets that say don't do animal products because they're evil. There are diets that say don't do sugar. If you look at all the diets that argue with each other, you can't eat anything. You'll eat mostly vegetables, and that's obviously not enough with vegetables to have a complete supply of nutrients. So not everything is right in the way we experiment and the way we dictate that data has told us that one diet is better, one diet is not as good, especially when it's new. Because it's short data. You can have all the information that you want. If you compress it, that information has not been tested for a very long time. Most of the foods, most of the pollutants that we are exposed to, Wi-Fi waves, cell phone waves, they're just 30-year-old technologies. They've not been tested on a human lifespan, on one human's lifespan. Nature has been tested on hundreds of thousands, millions of iterations that have produced not only these beautiful flowers, but an ecosystem that all works together and that has failed through those iterations over a very long period of time. And when we think about any kind of information, come back and look at how does it stand many years from now. Take care.